A Philadelphia judge ruling the Transportation Authority must end all of the service cuts contained in its so-called doomsday plan. That means the 20% reduction in service that began late last month is no more. Additional cuts to regional rail lines that were scheduled to begin this week will not be happening. However, the more than 20% fare hike, that is still on. Our Steve Keeley is live for us in Center City tonight. Steve, this is a big win for riders here.
Well, a little twist on the Bob Dylan song, the signs, they are a-changing. So remember, it was just a couple of weeks ago when SEPTA put out these about discontinued service. And you can see 5 of the 32 routes it eliminated are ordered back. So those routes are part of the judge's order today, and that order is for immediate restoration. But SEPTA and the judge for the riders, all of them, they disagree on what immediately means.
They get their buses back, they get their rides back, and the judge said immediately.
But immediately in SEPTA time does not mean immediately in real time.
We've talked about that process. Typically, that's at least 3 weeks that it takes us to put a new schedule into effect. We've shrunken that down to about 10 days. So we think we would need about that long to do it.
Not in 5 days, not in 10 days, immediately.
We've been very clear about that. We've been very clear that we will work as fast as we can to get those changes back into effect. But we're not going to do it in a way that's unsafe.
The Philadelphia judge in this late-in-the-day order after an all-day hearing ruled SEPTA has to, quote, immediately reverse all service cuts. SEPTA says it's pleased it will be allowed to raise its fares, though, and put that earlier planned, then halted 21.5% fare hike into effect. That's also not happening immediately.
So we do plan to move forward with that. Again, the exact timing of that, we're going to let customers know. We're not going to spring that on them overnight. You know, we'll give them some notice that that's coming.
One of the most important aspects for this judge was the students. How do they get to school? They need to get to school. How do the teachers get to school? You know, there's a lot of teachers that rely on SEPTA. And you have to have teachers to teach students.
For the typical rider out there, they're hearing that SEPTA cannot cut all this, but you're still able to put the service back. They're wondering, well, where are you getting the money to do that now?
Right. Yeah. Well, the fact is we really don't have the money to do it. We will dwindle further down our service stabilization fund, which we use to pay bills across our operating and capital budgets. That's not a long-term solution.
The people that you were in there representing, all Philadelphians that rely on SEPTA, how do you think they're going to feel once they get the news?
Oh, I've already spoken to them. They are ecstatic. They are so proud that they stood up, and I must compliment my clients, my plaintiffs. They stood up, they took the heat, and they prevailed.
All right, so they prevailed. It's still a question whether the Eagles will prevail. And as we look at the Eagles Green City Hall Tower with that clock, who knows what time all the service will be back. George Paquetto, the lawyer, says the kids who lost their ride should have them at 7 a.m. SEPTA says that's not going to happen. We'll see if he goes back to court and says, hey, SEPTA's in contempt of court, Your Honor. They're telling us we don't know when the service is going to come back. SEPTA says they may have some announcements tomorrow on both when the fare hike will go into effect and when they hope to have the service restored. Also, the Eagles and their fans did come up in the courtroom post-game talk today. At SEPTA headquarters tonight, I asked, what about those next Eagle home game express extra trains for the estimated 17,000 fans that take SEPTA to and from Eagles games? SEPTA says it's hoping for a permanent funding solution still. They've got 17 days before that may happen, and that's probably highly doubtful at this point based on what Harrisburg's been up to. So they said barring that, Sheba Jason, they hope maybe to find another sponsor like they got FanDuel tonight. So it looks like SEPTA will be among the panhandlers in the city for the next couple of weeks.
All right, lots of changes. We will, of course, keep everybody up to date on it. Steve, thank you. And this court ruling means the transit system's $213 million funding crisis continues. So stay with Fox 29 and Fox Local for the latest as SEPTA officials work to bring service back to normal. Will it be 10 days? Will it be tomorrow? And when will they start charging those higher fares?